James Watt, BBC Radio Stoke. We're delighted to have on the show today Brian May, along with Brian as well, Kerry Ellis, West End superstar. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, James. Yeah, we're good, thank you.
Good to have you on. You're coming to Buxton pretty soon. Candlelight Concerts. This is like the Brian and Kerry show, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's something which we've evolved, and we've done a couple of tours like this now, and it's gone very well. It's very kind of well, it's different for both of us because we've both done kind of big in the past, and this is quite intimate and small and very interactive with the audience. It's a lot of fun.
Yes,
we love doing it.
Because we all know you, Brian, and Kerry, we do know you, but we don't know you. We know you, but we know you, but we don't know you because you've been on so many West End shows, sort of Queen, We Will Rock You, of course. I guess this is where, and many others, Les Mis and Wicked, and you name it, you've been in it, sort of thing. I guess is the We Will Rock You. That's where you met Brian, was it?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, actually, Brian came to see me in My Fair Lady by chance, and I ended up auditioning for We Will Rock You, and 12 years later, here we are.
So what was it about Kerry, Brian, that thought, oh yeah, she's the one for We Will Rock You?
Well, some people just walk in and you go, yep.
I paid him.
No, I mean, it's the first time she opened her mouth. It's an incredible voice, you know, and I remember thinking at the time, I wonder if this always happens. I wonder if people always walk in and they're just perfect. And it doesn't always happen. I have to tell you now, 12 years later, it doesn't. But yeah, she's just an amazing voice, you know, an amazing, passionate way she interprets songs. So yeah, we were all just, you know, immediately convinced that this was right.
That was. And what was it like for you, Kerry, getting the big gigs? It was a big gig, it was Meat, wasn't it?
It was a big gig. Mind you, I did have to do 7 auditions, so they did put me through my paces.
You like the auditions because people... I don't want to bring this up, Kerry, too much.
But you will.
I will, anyway. The Voice last season...
No, it was the one before.
Was it the one before? How time flies.
2 years.
OK, you're a big successful West End star, and occasionally you get people that are known that go on that show, and they never turn round for the people we've heard of. Why is that? Why is that?
Oh, I don't know. You know what? You can't please everyone, and not everybody likes every voice and every performance. We're, you know, as a nation, we all like different things, so that's just life, and that's how it is, and... You know, you can't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah. Now we got the concert in Buxton, and we need to know. You know, you're doing some Queen stuff, but it's more pulled back, isn't it, in a big way?
It's all different, really. Yes, I mean we do some Queen songs, and we like doing them, and people like that. You know, it's a nice connection. But there's a whole load of other things which we go into, from all different genres, really. You know, a certain amount of sort of. From West End musical type of things, but not that much. Some historical things like Doris Day we do, and I mean it's quite surprising. And I think most people think, "Ooh, I didn't think I was going to like this," but they actually do.
Tell you what, we'll play. Dust in the Wind is
very good.
Let's play that right now, and we'll come back in just a moment and talk all about it. So there we go, Dust in the Wind, Brian May, Kerry Ellis, and that's you've been doing that at Buxton, and you've recorded that as well, I guess. Yes,
we have. It's a lovely song. I mean, that was written by a very good friend of mine, who's also called Kerry, but he's a guy from Kansas. Yeah, a beautiful song, and kind of prophetic in my life because dust has become a big part of my life, apart from in my house. You know, cosmic dust was my thesis and remains an interest.
Is it a big challenge to, you know, because Queen sort of rules your life, Brian, I guess, and is it hard to sort of step away from sort of, hey, let's rock it up sort of thing?
Well... No, it's not hard, really. and actually, we do rock it up. You know, it's a lot of the concerts acoustic, but at the end we get electric, and it gets kind of loud, which is nice. But no, I love the quiet stuff. I love to interpret. And Kerry's got this, I mean, an incredible voice. And I found over the years that I've been working with her that, in a sense, the less I do, the better. And that's a great discipline. You know, you have to let the song breathe, let Kerry breathe. You know, and it's. I mean, I've always thought that a song is all about the singer, and it's the same with with Freddie. You know, in a sense, I was always very concerned with arrangements, making sure he's in the right place, and that he's not drowned out. You know, it sounds like a simple principle, but it's very important. You know,
yeah, because the singer's the star, isn't it? You know,
absolutely.
That's the way. But, you know, but this is the difficulty we have with you two, you see, because everyone's heard of Brian May. You know, Brian May. That's Brian May sitting next to you, just sort of playing the guitar, and then you're out front, really, Kerry, aren't you?
There's no just about it, you know. People are amazed. But what's nice is that people get to see Brian play acoustic, which is, you know, he does play a little bit when he plays with Queen, but not as much. So, you know, people do get to appreciate that side of him as well.
Do you practice the guitar still, Brian, or not? Or is it you just got it now?
Ooh, well, I practiced a lot for this because it's different. Yeah, I mean, I started off on acoustic, and for years that's all I did, which is unusual. And these people, these days, you know, kids can pick up an electric guitar straight away, but I didn't. So I'm kind of going back to my roots, and I love that accompaniment thing.
What was the first guitar that you had then? Do you remember that?
A little hummingbird. No, not a hummingbird. Was it an Egmont? I beg your pardon, an Egmont guitar. I think it cost 9 guineas. That was a lot for my mum and dad. For my mum and dad to fork out, that was a lot, you know. But it's, it was an acoustic, and eventually I figured out how to make a pickup, put a pickup on it, and plugged it into my dad's radio, and kind of made my first electric guitar that way. So after that, we embarked on making the proper electric guitar.
Yeah, and then of course when the success came, because it was we know sort of the story of Queen. It's been documented an awful lot, sort of thing. But you know, you become a success. You become an overnight success after many years.
Yes, yeah, as you do.
And then do your skills as a guitarist grow through that period? I presume they do.
Yes, in a sense, it's funny. Yes, I think your interpretive skills grow. You know, your connection from your mind to your fingers grows. But probably technically, I could do just about everything I can do now when I was 17. To be honest, it's odd. You know, there wasn't that much of a change, even though I say I practice, but when I practice, what I'm doing is learning to do new things. But you know, technically,
what is the most technically difficult Queen song?
Ooh, it's hard to say. What, on stage?
I don't know.
You know what? Probably still Bohemian Rhapsody. Because that stuff never gets easy. And it's, you know, it was always different every night.
So you're saying Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay, what about the Queen song that me, as someone that can't play a guitar, if I fancy playing a Queen song, which can I get sussed no sweat?
Well, We Will Rock You's easy enough. You know. There's only a couple of chords in We Will Rock You. Anyone can play We Will Rock You.
Brian May is with us, as well as West End star Kerry Ellis. Back with Brian May. We'll play We Will Rock You, I think, in a moment as well, I think. Because we can, and I could strum along, maybe. Hey, what's going on, Liz? Hey.
Well, it's not looking too bad, actually, on the road so far this afternoon. One or two...
BBC Radio Stoke.
Back with Brian May in a moment. James Watt, BBC Radio Stoke, Kerry Ellis, and Brian May with us.
Yeah, you'll see us do we do it differently. We do everything differently, but we do rock you in the show. No,
because of course you were. How long were we rock you for, Kerry? For how long were you in?
2 years. I was in the actual original company and created the role, and I was there throughout the whole opening of the show. So, but 2 years I did it for, and I think it's in its 12th year now. Is it?
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, what did you... I mean, when was it Ben Elton came up to you, Brian, one day, comes up to you, just wanders in the street and says, got a silly idea?
It was almost like that. I mean, nobody really knows how we got together in the room, and it's an odd thing, but we sat there saying, you know, we actually need a new angle because we're looking for this musical and we don't like what we've got. We had this biographical idea, you know, the story of Queen, the story of Freddie, and it just didn't sit right. We even workshopped that idea. Yeah. But Ben said, no, I think we should do it different, and it should be set in the future. On the part, it's about kids who've lost their way, looking for rock and roll, and they don't know what rock and roll is. So we immediately went, yep, that's what we want, and jumped in with him.
Because the premise, I guess, is that, you know, Queen, you know what rock and roll is.
Well, by now, I bloody hope so. Well, it's a matter of debate, isn't it?
It was really before. Was it before Pop Idol and X Factor had really kicked in that We Will Rock You was around really before those days, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was. It wasn't
sort of almost in the future, but it was foretelling the future almost.
Well, yeah, I remember reading the script and thinking, well, this is quite interesting, and it's a comment on what's happening now, but I thought maybe it'll get a bit old because it won't be topical anymore. And the funny thing is We Will Rock You has got more and more topical because life is more and more dominated by this kind of computer-recorded whatever it is, and, you know, X Factor and, you know, all
well, it's interesting, and you, Kerry, you know, you live that because you have got huge success in the West End and doing the concerts and all that sort of thing, and then you kind of think, oh, let's have a go at one of these reality TV shows.
You're giving her a hard time here, aren't you?
Yeah, but you know what? It is very current, and it is very of today, and you know, especially with the career that I do and that I'm involved in, you kind of have to put yourself out there, and you have to kind of get involved or kind of, you know, get off kind of thing. So you have to. I think you have to be open to things.
Yeah, you can't ignore it, really. That's the thing. People say, you know, don't you hate it? Well, yeah, in a sense, but good people come up through these channels, you know, like I'm thinking about American Idol and X Factor or whatever, you know, and we've actually played on some of these shows, you know, and people say, oh, well, aren't you selling out? Well, no, because these people are real. They might be on a show which you don't particularly like, the ethos of or whatever, but nevertheless, that's what life is these days, as Kerry said. So you either jump in or you just sort of sit in a backwater.
I mean, if Freddie'd still been around, do you think Queen would have still been going around like the Rolling Stones?
Yeah.
Not like that.
They'd be better, though.
They're really old, aren't they?
Yeah. And, of course, I've got a big thing, Brian. I'm not follically challenged yet, so I've got plenty of hair up there. And I got a theory that to have hits, you have to have hair.
See, my very good friend Joe Elliott said you can always be a rock star as long as you don't lose your hair and you don't get fat. Now.
So do you work with the hair just comes naturally? Do you have to work on the fatness, or you're naturally thin?
I don't think any of us are as thin as we were, are we? Yeah. You have to keep fit, you know, constantly.
Back with Brian and Kerry here at BBC Radio Stoke in just a moment. James Watt, BBC Radio Stoke. Got Kerry Ellis and Brian May. We spoke to them earlier on this morning. Catch them very soon in concert in very close to the area. Well, in the area. Okay. More details in a moment. Let's say, what's the difference between all them big stadium tours, big stadium concerts? What's it like doing a little tiddly venue, in effect?
It's fun, really.
It is fun.
It's just a lot of fun. It's very loose, and in a big show, which has a big production, you don't get much room to move. I mean, you try and put sort of improvisational places in there, but basically you're kind of tied in by a schedule on stage, whereas we go on there and we can do anything we like, and we can stop in the middle of a song, do something else if we want. We can try things out. We can chat. We tell a lot of stories, which is fun. And I love it. It's very free and very open, and you know, it's the opposite of what's going on in what we were just talking about, I suppose, this sort of mechanised society. There's no backing tracks, there's no constraints on us whatsoever. We just sing and play.
And I'm very aware of this, Kerry, with you being sitting next to Brian here, okay?
I've sat next to him for 12 years.
Yeah, okay. What's it like sitting next to Brian May and everybody ignoring you?
I'm used to it now. You know what? It kind of makes... Initially, it made it very interesting because I was wondering what, you know, people would make of me being there. But interestingly enough, when we went to Europe and we did a 2-week tour in Europe, they were so amazing and they responded so well to the both of us. I even did a little solo in the middle of the show without Brian on stage. You know, It was like, here we go, this is going to sink or swim. And the reaction was so lovely. And I think people really respect the two of us being out there together because we're from such different worlds, and this is something very new. Or although we've toured with it before, it's something new we're bringing to people. It's not, you know, Brian from Queen and Kerry from the West End. It's something new. So I think people respond well to that. So hopefully I'll win them over.
I think so, because I think there's so much I'd love to talk to you about, but then the pressure is that.
Brian
We've got to talk to Brian.
You don't want to talk to me.
Yeah, they've got to talk to you.
Obviously, you come from my side of the business. That's what it is, James. You see. I mean, Kerry comes with an army of fans who are incredible. You know, you do not step out of line with Kerry Ellis fans.
What, Kerry? We got to go. What's your favourite Queen track, Kerry?
Oh, well, it has to be No One But You, because it's been so influential through my life. It was the first song I sang for We Will Rock You, and, you know, it's stayed with me, and so, yeah, has to be that.
OK, good to talk to you
That's
today.
my favourite Kerry Ellis track.
That'll do me. Candlelight Concert, Buxton Opera House, 19th of February. Brian May, Kerry Ellis, thanks very much for coming on today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James.
Thank you. Thank you. James Watt, BBC Radio Stoke. Let's finish off this hour with a couple of big Queen songs. Here's that one Kerry was talking about.